So today we're going to talk about the second yama. Remember that the yamas are about ourselves, and one of the things you need to understand is the yamas build upon each other. Okay? So they build upon each other, which means that one cannot function or work without the other. You have to do them all together. Right? It's the synergy of life. It's how we conduct ourselves in our internal world and how we actually move through our external world by actually conducting ourselves in a manner, in a form that is the right or the correct way or the caring way. How's that? Maybe not the correct way, but the caring way. So satya, it's truthfulness. It means to say or speak the truth, except when it's not in the other person's best interest at all, or it hurts them in some form or another. Right? Now let's take a moment here to think about when we have, and usually it comes when we've spoken the truth when we really didn't need to. Right? Let me give you an example. And it happens at your age a lot. You know, you have a best friend, and you know that best friend's boyfriend. And one Saturday night you decide to go out dancing, and you see that your best friend's boyfriend out there, and he's now, dancing on and on and on and carrying on and on with another girl. Right? What happens? What normally happens in that situation? Besides the fact you get upset, then you think, what do you think? It's your duty to go and tell your girlfriend, right? You think it's your duty? Who died and made you God? It's not your duty. It is not your duty at all. Because that's gossip. Number two, that's going to hurt your friend, isn't it? Yes. Then you should not tell the truth. If it hurts your friend, it is not the truth. The truth never hurts. Not that way. Okay? The truth hurts when we're truthful to ourselves. But it should not hurt coming from somebody else. The truth of the matter is, if we have the faith, and we should have the faith, that everything happens for a reason, and everything will happen in its own time, then she will come to know the truth when she is supposed to know that truth. Not when we decide that we are God and we're going to tell her because we're trying to protect her. Right? You don't know the type of relationship they have. You really don't. You think you do, but you don't. So we have to stop and think. You have to touch your heart. Now, remember our first yama. Our first yama was acting in consideration. Are you acting in consideration of her feelings if you tell her the truth that you saw her boyfriend dancing all night? No, you're not. So you're already breaking the first yama, and now you're breaking the second yama. Right? And then here's the other thing. Then we think, and it happens a lot. Let me give you another example. Somebody comes by and they're wearing, and you know that person, and then they're wearing something that you don't think is appropriate. You, once again, may I repeat, who died and made you the fashion police of the whole earth? Right? So you decide that's not good, that's not cute, that's not whatever, and you say something like, I think I better tell her because she's going to think blah, 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 and you go over there and you say, why are you wearing that? Number one, did you act with ahimsa? Consideration of her and her feelings? No. So you've already done the ahimsa. The moment you mess up the ahimsa, don't even go to satya. Don't even go to satya. Right? You've got to stop. They work conjunctively together. Right? Let me give you now a different example. Many of the people that I work with, many of them have illnesses that are terminal. Okay? And would it be in their best interest for me to walk up to them and say, you only have 5 days left? Would it be in their best interest for me to tell them the truth? Because I don't really know the truth. Because who died and made me God once again, right? So you have to be careful when you supposedly are this truth warrior and you go out there and say, I'm going to speak the truth. When you speak the truth is about you. That's when you speak the truth. The truth of the matter is, let me give you now another example. One of the things that I do is I work with, is I coach and I empower Latino women to be more than they think they can be, right? They get excited, they begin to do the business, and then all of a sudden they just stop and they fluctuate, and then they don't call, and they, and they fall off the face of the earth because they are not able to tell the truth. And the truth of the matter is, usually, number one, they don't have enough patience, perseverance, drive, determination. Number two, they're not success-minded. They are job-minded, which is two different mentalities. And number three, they're too embarrassed to tell the truth to themselves. Right? How many times don't we do that? Rather than to face up to our own truth, we avoid things. Yes or no? And avoidance never gets you to the top or to where you want to go. So the truth, you should always be in satya to yourself, not to everybody else, because you are not the warrior of truth. No one came to you and said, you will be the warrior of truth for everybody else. You are the warrior of truth for yourself. For yourself. And you've got to be honest, and that's when it hurts, because you got to be really honest. Why are you going to say something? What are you feeling? Are you feeling a little jealousy when somebody else gets a little bit of money, or somebody else gets ahead of you, or somebody else? Do you feel that jealousy? You've got to come into the truth. Yes, I feel that jealousy. Wow, this is my truth. Because I will tell you this, as long as you're feeling a little bit of jealousy, as long as you're feeling a little bit of remorse, as long as you're feeling, oh, that, why isn't that me? It'll never be you. The day that you can actually rejoice and be happy for somebody else's gifts and abundances, that day, my friends, will be the day that your life changes and abundance will flow to you easily. Right? But you have to look inside yourself and see the truth. Right? Let me give you an example when you need to see the truth. If your friend just called you and said, hey, I got a job at SeaWorld, how cool is that? And you say something inside, you say something like, I wonder why she got it. She doesn't just, I could do that. I'm better than her. I should have got that job. If you even think that, you are vibrating at the lowest level. You are calibrating lower than you can even imagine. And you know what? You're going to attract more of the opportunity to get that feeling, because your feelings speak worlds. So you have to be true to yourself. Find the truth inside yourself. The moment that your friend says to you, hey, I'm so excited, guess what? I got a job. and you're like, yeah, party, let's do it, and you're really